How is everybody? The one cell, and the 1x1 cell, the 2x2 cell, the CH creation. Here is where our CH creation comes in. But this becomes, we can use this as a half cell area. The reason for that is that when you can create a diamond inside of here, you cannot create the diamond inside of here. They'll crisscross and create X's. Here they won't crisscross, but we'll have V. Here we have X's, here we will have the V, for the reason that here it crisscrosses and here we're not obligated to. I call this one Earth, I call this one Mars, because it can be split down the center. The only way Mars can be split with this one, because Mars is a single line, Mars would be split this way on the 45-degree angle. I would call it the Fox pass. The Fox pass is because the Fox pass is 45 and 135 for 180 degrees, in which this one says ace and sun. This one will say fox. Although there are other words, these are the base. This is 666, ACE. It's also matter and energy coming through this one, for the reason that the 13 ball, or the 13th letter, stands for M, and the 5th letter stands for E, matter and energy. At the same time, it becomes 7774, becomes Jesus Christ, 151, Mars the student. The mathematics will create 6 and 5, 5 times 1, 5 plus 1 on each side. 15 is 1/4 of 60, time is 60, that equals to what is 1/4. This one over here, I like to call it the half-life area, because the next step up from this size is half of each of these areas. Although there's 4, I can create another geometric shape showing me the diamond half areas, and my center would be right over here. I like to call that on the cross. That'd be step number 1. We're going to go into something else. We're going to just look at what 100 Celsius is. This is your 55 freedom mark. This is your C. What is your C? C is Roman numerals. I like to work in Roman numerals. Something to do with the oven and cooking. Here is your bowling, what all the X's are. I'd like to say we start at 300 in creation and we work ourselves down as a countdown. It seems like everything in professional sports seems to be a countdown, but the innings are counting up. In 10-pin bowling, here is how the score works. In 5-pin bowling, this creates the passage, 45. It's 15, 15, 15. We throw 3 balls here. We throw 2 balls here. It seems like there's a conjunction between BB, 2 and 2 balls, or CB, which is our, let's say, citizen band radio. This would be the Fox pass. This would be the birth. This would be the sun. This would be Ra. This would be life in the E-world at the gateway again. This would be the cube in the sun. I can mix up the numbers. Cube is 31. 5 and 3 electric company. 135 is ace, which gets divided to 360 degrees. And this is where the I birth comes in. And then back to the sun pass. And I'm assuming, but I don't want to jump out of my shoe, that once we have the passage rotating in the sun, then we add the 3rd number. For the, I'm not sure if you want to look at the movement. Here, 365 days in a year. If we reverse it, 704, which is energy time in the heavens. This one will say God. It is 12 moons. It is 12 years, female, bat mitzvah. The word will say God, and 8 is represented of the heavens. So we can look at this here as 4 and 2, 6, 4 and 2, 6. Together it is 8. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to what is 6 and 8. We don't use both sides. You're either here or you're there. This is one of my steps. The next piece I want to work on, okay, just to jump out of my shoe for a second, the word farmer. Inside of it, I see Mars. Inside of it, I see electronic resident angel. This is 1000, showing me 3 worlds. This also, ramener, is to take. This is what I see inside the word. Mer is telling me ocean, and also the 13 and 5, as I didn't mention, in the game of pool, the 13 and the 5 ball are what is orange, which is made up of yellow 92, the birth, and red 27, the gateway. The total is 911, or 119, 29 back to your birth again. Now in this one, I'm running the cycles of the moon, but it seems like many things of the moon add up to 28. The ounce is 28 at the same time. It is one moon cycle, but when they're selling, when I don't know if they call it for selling or how they use it, but they always use 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. That's the calculation. So it's always 8 parts of 3.5 to equal to the 28. So I'm going to run these all in sevens and use the 3.5 as part of. So when we come up to G, we have 49 representative of H. It becomes one cycle in 3/4. 3/4 is also noted to 75, which is DC, disconnect, the alternate current. And 75 represents also 57, the moon. 75 is 25, which is 1/4, 1/4 of 100. 1/4 of 100 is also noted to be 15 seconds in time. When we come to H, we have 2 moons. If we were looking at this as Earth, so when we look at this, 2 moons, 28, 28 equals to 2 moons. This is also, just trying to remember what it is, just H. Yes, H is the completion. When you add up 1 through 8, it equals to 36. So at your completion of your first cycle of 360, which takes 4 of them to equal 1,440 minutes in a day, which 360 inside of a week, I'd have to take my calculator, right, of the 1440 times 7 equals to that, divided by 360 equals to 28 parts. So the week in minutes, okay, equals to 28 parts. Like I said, I'm going to just do this again. There are 1,440 minutes in a day, okay, divided by 28 equals to, no, we don't want to do that one. There's 1,440 minutes in a day times 7 equals to that. Now we divide it by the 28 number of the moon to run the cycle, and it gives us 360 degrees. So it's a perfect cycle to the cycling of the moon. When you bring it into this, it creates 180, which becomes 1/2. H is 1/2 of. P would be the complete cycle. 16 hours a day and 8 hours a day. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 and 8, 24 hours for the 1/3 8, for the 1/3 8 and the 2/3. 2 times 8, 16 to complete your 24 hours a day. 16 hours a day and 8 hours a night. So when you add up 7, 7, 7, 7, you come to J, it becomes 2.5 moons, 2.5 representing Earth, 1.5 representing Mars, 6 on Mars, 6F, and ABCD J10, Earth and Mars coming together. ABC equals 6 plus D equals to 10, bringing them both together. When you go to K77, matter and energy, matter and Christ, 84 is Pluto, becomes female, and you have the completion of 3 by 28, 84 equals to 3 moons that have come on by. We do not repeat it until here, where we complete the complete full cycle of, sorry, let me explain that. 2 moons and 2 moons, 112. 28 and 28 is 56, and 28 and 28 is 56. We have 112. Let's go it in days. That will equal to a 4 moon and mirror cycle. 16 times 7 equals 102, which is the 4 moon cycle. So when we get to the letter O, it becomes 3 3/4 under the gun over here. Let's call it Magnum. And I'm just trying to think, again, the DC, but when you see 3, okay, 3 is a completion just before you get to the mirror. 3 is a completion. It's 3 plus the 3/4, bringing the moon into this cycle. This is 3 times 28 equals to 84, plus 21. 84 and 21. That 21 dots creates 21 dots of the cube face. Now we want to get into the next number, which is Q. And on Q, guess what? It's 119 days, 70 and 49. 70 days and 49, the 17th letter. So we have 17 by 7 equals 119. And we come up with 119 divided by 7 equals to 17, and that is Q. So that's where we run in. And we have 4 1/4 inside this, or 4.25. So when we have this, 41 represents home, represents the student, represents king. The reason it represents a student, because student, there's a game, and in this game they're saying yo 11, which always sounds like 11, and it is 11, but 11 is a student. So once they're calling yo 11, the vibration is calling for student in French. One other thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to get to this in another video. I'm going really fast. There's just so many things to do that I step all over myself. That when I get to the, I'm just trying to see where this one comes in, 786. I'm trying to think. This is, again, this is Magnum. This is the pole, the ring. I have to stop my video for a second. Okay, I do not remember where I was going with this one, but what I'm going to tell you is when you get to 336, okay, that is 12 moons passing. 112, 1 full cycle. 112, 2 full cycles. 112, 3 full cycles representing female. The next one will represent male. Once you add on the next one, it represents male. So the mirror ends up representing male, and we end up saying male man, male this, male that. One syllable compared to woman, female, and male. Woman and man. The 1 and the 2. The 1 moon of Earth and the 2 moons of Mars. In this one over here, it's going to be a thing on time where I'm going to probably just want to end it here, but I didn't start at 111. It's in my other book. 11 11, 12 12, 13 13, 14 14, 15 15. Then we get to 16 16, 17, and then we're going to get to 17 17, another one. But here is going to represent matter. It's also going to represent the half-life. 976 minutes. Christ and matter. This, when you come to this, sorry, it becomes 716 in time, but the actual time for this is 416, which is 256. I forget which part of memory this is. 562. Well, for me, 62 is queen, 26 is game, 26 is God, 56 will create home and king. This will create, when you multiply it, it'll create 60 plus 13, 73. Nibiru, number 73, or creation in the gate. I'm going really, really quick. The other part about this is when the female has her bat mitzvah and comes into this year, into the spirit year, representing creation. The division of the alphabet is between M and N. So one is the spirit for the female, and the next one is high 52, the division in earth, the male. This is the sun, this is the moon, this is 13, and this is 14. This is prime, this is not, but it inverts to 4 and 5, where this becomes prime, and this does not, to a single digit count. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I think I spoke a little quick. I don't really think I got what I wanted to get across, but the basic thing is here is just to bring out the equations to understand numbers. Thank you for watching this video.